Hi everyone, this is Shane R. Monroe, and I'd like to give you a quick tour of the progress on Deck Drive Manager. This is a tool designed to take Steam games from your local PC and dump them to a Steam Deck compatible ext4, for now, card. And the purpose here is to make these cards ready for deployment right away. So obviously this tool does not handle ext4 read, write, and format. You'll need another tool called Linux File Manager, or I'm sorry, Linux File System for Windows from Paragon. You can get a trial version. It's $20 to buy it. After 10 days, it starts slowing down the write process, which is already slow enough, so you probably don't want that. You'll probably just want to buy the thing. But a couple of things before we get started. This is, of course, an alpha build, so there's plenty of things that don't work that's not ready to go yet. For example, your Steam location must be fixed. I know there's a set location button, but it doesn't do anything yet. So if your Steam isn't in this location, this app is just not going to work for you at all. You'll also need at least one folder, in my case I have 3 on my system, that contains Steam games. The more drives you have, sort of the more value or benefit you might get out of this tool. And that's pretty much it. So the idea is that you can go through each one of these. There's really nothing installed on my C, but you could go to each of your drives, and of course you can sort by title if you want it to be a little more clean, and you can grab a couple of titles to move over, say, to your queue, right? So we're going to take some from the D drive and we're going to add it to the queue. All right, so we copied them over, we get a title, we get where they're at, we get their Steam ID, which we need later. You don't need to know why, but the app does. And then you have a size calculation for each one with the total queue size. Now, if we exceed the queue size exceeds the total free space of the drive, then you'll get a big nasty note right here saying it's too big and the copy button will be disabled. Now, you will notice if you look at the destination drive, it'll let you use any drive you want, but it defaults to the first ext4 that it finds. Yeah, you could use this program to deploy to a non-ext4 file system, but I'll tell you right now, Steam won't adopt a file system version of a Steam folder that's not in this format. So you can deploy all you want to another drive if you just want to play around and test it, but in the end, it really only works if you have ext4, and for that you're going to need some sort of a driver for Windows, which is what the Linux file system for Windows is. Right, so now we can go ahead and jump over to the G drive, and we can grab, say, Cobra Kai, and maybe, oh, God of War's nice and big. Let's grab that. Jet Bounce, well, Jet Bounce doesn't work. Vampire Survivors, I'm going to copy that over. Now, right now, it's parsing these folders, so it looks like the app is hung. I'll have to do some threading and stuff like that at some point. All right, so now we've added more, and of course, God of War is 64 gigs and change. We've now exceeded our total queue size. It'll fit here, so it says the queue is too big. If I go ahead and remove God of War, then we now have a queue size that works out. So I'm going to grab something extraordinarily small like Vampire Survivors. There's also no check to see if these games already exist over here. You can see right now I've got 8 games installed. Vampire Survivors could be one of them already. At some point in time, I'll reveal what games are installed, but that's neither here nor there for now. So now we have a very small game, 0.22 gigabytes. And yes, I'll probably knock these floating point numbers down a little bit, but for accuracy, I needed to be able to see them. And then we hit copy. The whole app disables, and you can watch the progress in the output logs. Every dot is a file. Every circle is a directory. So you can kind of follow along. See, it picked up a directory. It's grabbing files from that directory now. There's a whole bunch more directories. Most of them seem to be empty. So it's going to copy those over. The current speed appears to be about 1 gigabyte per minute. 1 gigabyte per minute. So if you've got 64 gigs you're copying over, plan on it being an hour. Currently, there's no way to stop the process once you start. I mean, this is an alpha build, so a lot of the quality of life stuff is not here yet, but it does work. I mean, if we were to go take a look at this drive, we would definitely see that Vampire Survivors is over there. And more importantly, let's go ahead and take a look at that drive real fast. Let me just grab the right drive. So I'll put this at the bottom here so we can actually take a look. Okay, so if we looked at the P drive in a file manager here, you can see that the file structure is here and created for the Steam apps. And if we look in here, you'll see all the manifest files are copied over. This is important. The manifest files are necessary for Steam Deck to know that the app is in this folder. If this isn't present, then even when you install when you put the microSD card back into your deck, it won't see these games by default. You'll have to go and do a manual install of every one of these games in order for it to pick up and discover the files. And of course, if you look in here, let me invert there because I see it's cut off. Vampire Survivors is there. It was done today. And if you go in there, you'll recognize all the standard. Sorry, I've got this cut off because I'm trying to save some screen space here, but you'll see all the files are here that you need to run the game. So very cool. That's what the app does. That's how it works. This is how it works right now. This is an alpha build. Right now, we are only using testers that are sort of pre-certified as software testers because this is very happy path. And there's obviously room for lots of things to go wrong, and I'd rather spend my time developing the app than supporting people on an alpha build. So if you're experienced with software testing, you don't mind a whole bunch of wrinkles, this sort of situation applies to you, then please jump on our Discord. There'll be a link in the description below. I think this will be really helpful for those who are waiting for a Steam Deck. They want to prep some drives, or if you already have a Steam Deck and you're looking to build a series of microSD cards featuring certain games from your Steam collection, I think you'll find that this tool will be extraordinarily useful. Again, it doesn't run all by itself, though you do need this driver. I do realize that some people want to use BTRFS. That's coming right now. I'm working on the ext4 happy path, but we'll get to the other file system at some point. Thanks so much for watching. Please, if this looks like a project you're interested in and you have some developer experience or some testing experience, I would really like to have as many testers going through this as possible, and we'll have some rapid development going on to getting this thing up to speed. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'm Shane R. Monroe, and we'll talk to you later.